Hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I want to talk about magical shards, sealed black magic crystals, and the best ways to get them. Because if you're an endgame player, you're probably needing a bunch of them for either your amplified artifacts and light stones or various crystals for the new Adonia stuff that came out. And you basically need a lot of them. So at least here on the NA server, you're probably looking at this like, oh, there's about 160,000 orders on it. And you're probably saying, I should probably go grind this out myself or somehow get them. So first and foremost, if you are going for a bunch of these, it's still a little bit better to put an order on this one. Because when you mass process them, or just even regular process, there's a chance of getting 2 of them. So technically value is slightly higher, but if you want them faster, you just put an order on this. There's significantly less of them, and it's just straight up 1-to-1 value, and sometimes that's about it. That's all you need. So with that said, at least here on NA, you're basically sold out for a while, but I wanted to talk about some spots and other ways to get them. And first of all, currently we have an event going on right now. So this thing right here, and it allows you to get a bunch of them just by grinding it out. Let me see, which one is it? Yeah, the one over here where it gives you the pen 100% enhancement kit. It gives you 180. The black stones and Yona fragments are cool too, but you're here for the magical shards. You can get 2 of them. So 2 out of 5 quests for the event. The event lasts for 3 months, so there's literally no reason for you to miss any of these. And yeah, that's another 360 over here from the event. And also, if you are starting a new seasonal character, you know these seals of journey, you can get 2 of them. They're essentially the same thing. So if you haven't already bought all yours out, I talked about this in another video, but the best items you can get from here are, I would say, get the ones that you can't get in game as easily first. So if you're like a free-to-play player, get like the pets and everything. But yeah, this is another option, and you can get 2 of them. So another 360 over here, plus another 360. That's like 700. That's actually really good. And even if you're not an endgame player and you don't really need them, it's still good. I would either hold on to it or sell them, because there's been a while, I think a couple of years ago, we had the same exact things. Every now and then, getting all the black magic crystals. Black magic crystals are basically sold out, max price. It was like this a couple of years ago as well. Here we are again in 2025. So, yeah. Aside from that, getting like 700-ish of them from seasons. Another way you can get them is Imperial alchemy, which is not really a lot, but it's an option. So for all of you who do Imperial alchemy, you can get the magical shards from here. Is it worth it? Debatable, but if you really need them, I would recommend it. But as for everyone else, and the main source of where they come from is grinding. So the best spots that I have personally tested, along with looked up some data on it and asked other guildies, friends, what they're getting. So we go into the Monster Zone info. A lot of the Elvia spots that have sealed black magic crystals, they're pretty good. So my favorites would probably be Orc Camp. That one is just a lot of silver for an hour, plus you get a bunch of sealed black magic crystals. Elvia or Zekia actually drops them pretty frequently, and the spot is a lot easier to grind nowadays than it was like 5 months ago or something like that. So if you can definitely do that, this is a very high silver an hour spot. Elvia Giants is probably top 3, so I would recommend all of these. And then Bloody Monastery is okay. So we talked about this in another video where I was talking about the best places to grind for silver, and a lot of the Elvia spots are good. A lot of them require a commitment for you to actually get the 100 pieces from various spots and then turn them into cups and then sell them. That's where the big silver comes from. But if you're mostly going for sealed black magic crystals, I would say just grind the higher end spots if you can. Or Zekia is very solid one. Giants, very solid. Orcs. Hex Sanctuary surprisingly doesn't give as many as you think it does, but I mean, this spot is overall still good, and you get a bunch of other things. So yeah, I'd recommend that. Also, Ulakita spots are, you know, pretty decent for them as well. The Dark Seekers, you get a bunch here, but you're also getting Essence of Devouring and, you know, the Limbo boxes and Telescope pieces. So I actually think that Dark Seekers is going to come back, because once people are realizing that they're done with all the light stones and artifacts upgrades, and Adania is still a thing, so everyone is upgrading the Adana armor, and look at this, they're not max price anymore. So yeah, you're actually getting value, and the Origins and Essence of Devouring are actually selling now. So you can see that one, like, they're actually sold out. Price is only going up. So I actually think that if you can grind here, surprisingly enough, that even after Adania, Dark Seekers is good, Tungrad is good, Izrahid, debatable. It's not bad, but it's not the worst. Like, it's not the best. So if you can grind Dark Seekers or Tungrad, very solid spots. These are definitely going up in value just because the sealed black magic crystals sell. Same with the essences and origins. So I think realistically, if you can, like, if you're thinking about which one should I grind, just grind the one around your gear cap. So like if you're pretty decently geared, or Zekia, Elvia that is, or Primal Giants are pretty decent. I would leave like Giants and or camp to like the mid-geared player and everything else here. But Orzekia is more on the endgame side. And if you have more gear, I would definitely just recommend doing Ulakita spots like Tungrad and Darkseeker, simply because it's a little bit more silver an hour. It does require a little bit more gear, and you also get all this stuff. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Aside from that, just here's the best way to get them if you're too lazy to grind these spots is put orders on literally all of these, and then once these sell, just heat them up. Otherwise, you could put an order of about like 1,000 of them at a time on here, and from my experience, it's about a couple of days if you don't get lucky. And like on average, there's a lot of orders, but they also sell pretty decently to the point where I put an order on 1,000 of them and got all 1,000 in about 4 days. So I guess it depends on how badly you need them. Just put an order on everything that can give you magical shards. And honestly, if you just want them fast and you don't care about like the extra value, just put an order on this one, just because they will likely, you will get a couple hundred of them a day if you just do that. But it's just like you don't get the extra value in terms of a potential double proc if you're heating. But that's about it. Yeah, Elvia and Ulakita spots are probably the best ways to get them. And make sure to actually do the event right now. So like you just go over here into your quest tab, new, talk to Fugar, you pick up all these quests. And this one is literally just go fishing for about 2 minutes. And then this one is just go grind for like 5 minutes or something. Kill 100, kill 300, get these boxes. And yeah, that's good. So aside from that, just make sure to look at all your event rewards over here. Sometimes some of them might give magical shards like Imperial Alchemy. Turn in your seals from your season. And that's about it. So at least that's as far as I know. But with that said, hopefully you guys are actually using them. If you're like a beginner, newer player-ish, and or mid-tier player, and you don't necessarily need thousands of them, you could actually make a lot of profit right now just selling them. But if you're an endgame player, here's what you use them for, especially if you're getting close to Adania. You're going to need a bunch of them to get your Han Crystal, or, you know, if you're enhancing Fallen God from the free one, and you probably need a bunch of these to use as well. Or the big usage is probably the Heralds for upgraded artifacts, and End Times for literally your crystals, because this one stupidly requires 300 each for one Han crystal. So once again, a lot of Adania stuff is endgame. So if you're not there yet, don't worry about it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I should probably save them because I'll need them in the future. That's an option. But trust me when I say that you're going to need a lot of them, to the point where if the silver is profitable, I would just take the silver now and then grind for them. They're not hard to get. It's just you need a lot later on. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.